Hello, and thank you for joining us. My name is Denny Esquivel, and I am the Senior Manager of Programs with Leaders Up. And today I'm going to present on drafting a winning resume. So for today's session, I'm going to cover a little bit about Leaders Up, some objectives and takeaways, talk about what is a resume, components of a winning resume, and then we'll close it out for today. So to kick us off, Leaders Up is a nonprofit organization that serves as a talent development accelerator. We aim to bridge the divide between the untapped potential of young people and the business challenge of hiring and finding and keeping the best talent. Our mission is to support BIPOC young adults in all things job related. So through Leaders Up, we offer the Brand Up program. Our Brand Up program is a unique developmental experience designed to prepare, connect, and advance the next generation of BIPOC talent across across their career pathway journey, accelerating outcomes in alignment with Leaders Up's impact model as well. Um, so our program is really designed to upskill talent, support professional and personal success, and provide participants with the tools and resources to successfully prepare, connect, and advance in the workplace. As we navigate through our Brand Up program, I want to highlight that that Brand Up follows the prepare, connect, and advance model. Each phase equips participants with the proper tools, coaching, and opportunities to succeed in the next phase of their professional life. So for today's session about resume, we are focusing in on the prepare phase, which prepares job seekers for career opportunities via education, training, and coaching services. After today's session, we want to make sure that you understand what a resume is, how to communicate your value and accomplishments in each section of your resume, and how unpaid and volunteer experience is invaluable. So what is a resume? A resume, simply put, is your personal billboard that projects your personal and professional brand, accomplishments, skills you have, and your experience as well. So for your resume, we're going to cover some sections that should be included. So first off is having your accurate contact information so that we can make sure that employers can get a hold of you. So you want to include your name, city and state, professional email address, an active phone number, and if you have a LinkedIn profile, you can add your link on there as well. We also want to include skills and abilities. This section will highlight your skills, strengths, or talents. In this section, be sure to include a mix of soft skills and hard skills to highlight your strengths and talents. Soft skills are things that are transferable and not specific to one job type. Some examples are communication, teamwork, and time management. Hard skills are skills that are easily measurable and clear that one has had specific training in. Some examples are WordPress, sales, bookkeeping, and proficiency in multiple languages. Next section should be your experience, your work experience. Here we can highlight accomplishments and key successes that you've had. So in this section, you want to make sure to include the company you worked for, the city and state of its location, your role, and the length of your employment. Use bullet points to organize your experience in concise statements instead of full drawn out sentences. Include action verbs to describe skills, activities, and accomplishments, and be sure to quantify your accomplishments when possible. And here at the bottom, we share a brief example of what that could look like. So a camp counselor at Big Bear Lake, they have their time of employment, the name of the company, its location, their title, and a couple of bullet points with their tasks. The next section is education. Here we will list the education institutions you've attended. So we want to include the name of the school, its location, time frame of attendance. Make sure to add any earned credentials such as diploma, certificate, or a degree. Other things to consider are relevant courses, on-campus involvement, and any other accomplishments. In the lower part of the slide, you'll see an example for what an education post can look like here. So it includes time of attendance, the school, its location, degree earned, and their accomplishments while on campus. Another section is certificates and licenses. Here we can list any earned credentials such as CPR, first aid, a teaching license, real estate license, your CDL, and some kind of human resources certification. So here in this section, make sure to list the name of the certification or license that you've earned, the awarding organization or institution, and the date it was issued, as well as its expiration date, if any. Just as you see as the example on the bottom, where somebody earned their CPR and AED certification through the American Red Cross. Some other things to be mindful of on your resume. So making sure to highlight your accomplishments. You want to include what you learned and what you've accomplished in each of the roles that you are listing in your resume. You want to make sure to quantify accomplishments where appropriate. So sometimes you could put a number in front of things, right? So if you manage accounts for 15 different partners, you can include that in your resume. Or if you were a camp counselor, you can include how many campers you manage on the weekly basis. So things like that. Make sure to organize the duties and accomplishments using bullet points. If possible, start each bullet point with an action verb. So some examples are operated, improved, produced, managed, served, etc. And also explain what you did and why it was important, but make sure to be specific, be honest, and be concise with your statements. Now you may ask, that's a lot of information. How long should a resume be, right? General rule of thumb is that a resume should be 1 page long, but especially if you don't have a lot of professional work experience. But if you can fill out at least 3/4 of a second page, then go for it. Go for adding a second page. But generally, sticking to 1 page ensures the most relevant information is on there, and your resume should be well organized so that it's easy to read, because employers just do simple spot checks, right? They sort of just kind of skim through it. Sticking to 1 page is also easier to tailor and easier to kind of organize as well. And moving on. And so one might ask, some folks may not have any work experience, but there's no need to panic. We can include life experiences on here too. Non-paid experiences add value, right? And some of these can be, volunteering activities that you've organized in your community, a family business that you've helped out at. These are some good examples to start. You can also, like if you're part of a professional affiliation or your local community organization, that can be included on there as well. If you are or were in school or a community like club or sports teams, as well as received any awards, these are things that can be included in your resume as well. So now let's go over some examples of good resumes and bad resumes. So we'll start with some bad ones, right? So this example here, your resume, we want to make sure it's not distracting, right? So the gentleman's picture and the shades, that's not a super professional picture to begin with. The shadow on the name, right? It kind of is, to me, it's distracting from the content of his resume. So we want to avoid those things, and that way whoever is reviewing your resume can focus on your experience and your education and what you bring to the table, instead of the design, the pictures, the graphics on there. So this next one, so this is just an example, it's just not a real person. But in this example here, Miss Jacobs, the resume is laid out pretty well, but as you read through, you'll realize that Miss Jacobs is not including what she accomplished here. She's just really listing her responsibilities, right? Not really talking about what she accomplished while in this role. So we want to make sure to include what you've accomplished, right? What you've learned. Let's move on to a good example. Again, this is just a general resume. This is not a real person. Here, Miss Lennox, this resume is broken down pretty well. Got the different sections outlined well. It's easy to read, right? Communicates responsibilities as well as what she accomplished. So this looks really well, right? And she included references at the bottom of her resume. So this is a good example. The next example, Meredith Thompson. Again, a good layout. It seems it looks pretty well organized, right? And she, as you read through, you realize that she definitely communicates accomplishments and successes as well as what she learned, and not just her responsibilities. So it's a great resume example. All right, in closing, yeah, we want to make sure you hit all of these areas, right? So accurate contact information, skills and abilities, your work experience, education, any certifications and licenses that you've earned, as well as any additional things like community involvement, volunteer work, anything that's non-paid can also be included in your resume. So as you gear up for your next opportunity of employment, we want to make sure you have your resume in the best shape uh, possible and something that you're comfortable with. But most of all, that's actually communicating your value, your professional and personal brand to the highest standard that you have for yourself. So, again, thank you for joining me. My name is Denny Esquivel, and I encourage you all to follow us on social media. We share career resources, employment tips, and different hiring alerts regularly via our social channels. So it'd be great to connect with you on there. And also, if you're interested, through our Band Up program, uh, we offer live workshops like this. We offer digital courses, career coaching sessions, career exploration, virtual hiring opportunities via our opportunity marketplace, access to different industry leading certification programs, networking with peers and professionals, and more. So if this is something that you are interested in, we would like to connect. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact us here at programs@leadersup.org. We look forward to connecting with you and working with you further. Thank you.